Okay, quick video before I have to head out again. Kind of busy with some stuff, but anyways, so I got this working now. Let me just delete it from my tables here. Um, I basically just messed up the I just mistyped something. So, anyways, if I make a post request, it generates a new hash here or UUID, and yeah, and then also I've made some guardrails here. So basically, if we've detected as an error duplicate, yeah, if it's an error duplicate, then that's bad, right? Not bad, but it won't let me. It won't make a new record and the thing. So we get a duplicate error, which is perfect. This is it's. I can sanitize it, and it will prevent stuff like that. But of course, if I change like the name and like the username, basically username just needs to be unique. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, so now let's just do the next one is we on our next part auth, which is the login user, which could be a little bit tricky. So logging in a user is essentially just a few things here, right? So we can do this here. Okay, so what is a login user? That means if I hit the endpoint of main.go, I should be able to do obviously access stuff that are my things, you know? Like my session is essentially yeah, like what do I return when I log in? It's just the credentials. I think so, right? So let me go to the main.go. Yeah, I think we can do an implementation here. So let's do a query here. So from here, we'll do from users, or I guess select from users well, actually select the fields. So ID, first name, last name, username. Pass, or I think hash password, hashed password, hashed password, and then and what else? Created that. I think this is everything I can get. Select from users, right? Guess where let me look it up. My tiny URL. Oops. Let's get rid of this here. insert into, yeah, that's different. Select from URL where, yeah, so where, okay, so what do I provide? I don't know what I'm supposed to provide. The ID? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Where ID equals the first argument, right? Okay, so yeah, that's basically it, bro. Yeah, like where I basically only, I don't know how this works actually. Like from the front, like front end, what am I supposed to return? Like send. Do I send something else? I don't even know. Select ID, first name, last name, username, hash password created at. I don't think I need this. Like, okay, so get user by ID, where the ID is equal to first argument, right? Now we have, obviously we'll do this here. Well, actually, now we could do u.db.query context row with the context and is that right? Query row context. I'm stupid. Context. And then context and the query, then the UID. Why are we crying now? Wait, what? Okay, well, actually, I feel like I'm supposed to return something better. Then, and then with the returning, oh, this does return something actually. So I should actually do row here, right? Yeah, I should probably make a shape real quick. So user, var user, and then from here I do this. Scan, and let me scan that into it. So dot scan. Okay, yeah, we'll do user dot ID. Of course, we write into it. User dot first name, user. User dot last name. Last name. User dot username. User dot hashed password. And then, okay, this is errors. And then the data will be scanned into that. Then we can return the user and nil. So we'll have what user type. We'll just do an address. Yeah, we'll do a pointer to it, and then the storage.go will need to be adjusted to get to user by ID. Switch will do the user. And we'll go back here. So, yep. And then user. Actually, it's nailed in user. Nailed in error, dumbass. Hahaha. No. Or, okay, so it's nailed in error, yeah. Now this needs to be an address, so we'll do this here. So now we actually return the user that we need. So we have the abstraction implementation over this here. That's good. So main.go, actually auth.go. So now we can utilize sign in user. The problem is I don't know how they're supposed to do that. You know, I feel like this is quite useless at the moment. I think this is gonna be more useful for like session hooks, like the current session. So I'm gonna make another function, get user by username, right? Get user by user name. Get user by username, and of course we need the username, where I'm gonna say username equals the first thing, and then we'll have here username here. Select ID, first name, last name, username, hash password created at from users, where username is that. Yeah, okay, use it. And then now in our storage.go, we need another one called get user by username, and it's type string, and of course returns a whole struct of a user. Yep, that's perfect. So now in our auth.go, we can start doing the implementation. So basically, we're gonna have a login user, which gives us a user payload, I think. Right? Something of type storage.user, or that's nah. Yeah, it's gonna be of type the user payload, right? Okay, so now, so we pass in a kind of a construction of that. So they need to provide, actually, never mind. All I need is their email, username, and password. User login payload, which is completely different. All we require is like this: first name. Nah, we don't even need first name. We just need username, type string of JSON, of username, and then we'll have another one, password of this GenQ password. yeah. So use your login payload, and then user login payload. Payload, right? So we'll put that there. And login user, all I'm gonna do is just validate it. But of course I have to return them a token thing. We'll do that next time. So for now, we're just gonna validate them. Basically, I just want to find ways to deny them access. So first thing is, how do I first look them up? So we can do auth dot, or I think it's auth dot a dot storage dot user storage, right? Dot get user by username, and we'll get the user login payload dot username. So first is if the user login and dot username dot username. Oh, well, actually, let me see. Name or user login pay dot password. Just, I guess, an empty, I guess, then there's no even point of considering it. We'll add some errors here as well. For errors dot new. I guess error invalid payload. Errors dot new need a password or username and password are both required. So okay, now we can just return invalid payload. Then this will potentially error, so we'll just do user error. If error does not equal no, return error. Now the user, we need to compare the things here. So we will utilize our functions that we've made here. So now we need to know if the password matches. So we'll do this. A dot storage dot image, or actually it's user dot password dot compare the what the person said they wanted to do. So we'll do user login payload dot password, and this should basically return me an error or not, right? If so, we'll do error here. If error does not equal no, return error. Okay, well, are we crying something about here? Oh, I think I did. I forgot to pass in the context. Yeah, and then yeah. So if error, then okay, then this is a wrong password. Wrong password. Wrong password. error password mismatch. Error password. So password does not match. Password does not match. Yeah. Error invalid. No, not this one. Error password mismatch. Otherwise, return nil. Or I guess return the user. Which I can do like this. Actually, for now, I'm gonna return nil. Because I'm gonna instead create a session for them. Like, I'm gonna create a session for them. Like a token. I'm gonna give them a token, which will be useful. But yeah, anyways, I'll do that testing tomorrow. So thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.